Michelle says that she's been in management for a long time, and she's currently in her first executive role. Congratulations, just 2 years into it. And she's struggling to be taken seriously because she's been with the organization for 7 years, and a lot of people still see her in her previous junior role. Does anyone on our panel want to answer that? How do you lead with confidence when you've been promoted from within, which we do talk about that a lot with our clients?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say something about that. That's interesting. I've gone through that in my life as well. I've worked at a location where I was kind of just in a management level, and then I got promoted to a director. It is a hard balance because people don't really know how to take who you are because they only see you as the person that you work for. What you have to do is you have to set yourself up and say, this is what I want to accomplish. These are the systems that I want to have to put in place so that we have success. And then when people see the seriousness of why you're in that role and why you actually got that role, they identify with that and they start to recognize that you're there for a reason. I think a lot of people don't understand when you step to that, it's okay to set the boundaries and say that I'm here for that purpose. And I think it's also sometimes it's hard because you might not get invited maybe to that happy hour you used to go to, or you have to set yourself up to say, I might have to separate a little bit because I don't want to be involved if there's any kind of gossip that's going on or anything. That doesn't mean you're not a part of the team. That just means you're setting yourself up for that next plateau of your career. And because I had to do some kind of maneuvering with myself in that too, I realized that that set me up for success and that people started to respect me in my role. So, be kind to yourself. It's okay. It takes a little bit because people don't really recognize it at first. And then when they get there, they go. And then when you're strong at what you do and you see success, you go, oh, this is fantastic. Okay, I get it now.
Absolutely. Thank you, Roberta. Does anyone want to add to that on how we would support Michelle or anyone that's facing that, where you've been promoted from within and now you're not at your coworkers level, maybe now you're supervising them? Well, I can add to that as well, Michelle. Piggybacking on what Roberta said, feeling your own sense of your confidence and knowing who you are, even if it takes time to shift that role. I know for myself, often I'm looking for validation from Nagam. I'm looking for validation from Netta. I'm looking for validation from you. I'm looking for outside validation to know I'm doing a good job. And then people sense that and they feel it. So they pick up on that quality of, oh, Lauren's looking for my external validation. And instead of wanting to give it, it's human nature. It does the reverse, right? Then people kind of have this other of not necessarily wanting to pour into you. It's an interesting phenomenon that happens. So we will talk later today about micro versus macro confidence, but that's one of my favorite pieces of our curriculum. One of my absolute favorite pieces that literally has changed my life, because when I know who I really am, and we'll dive into it a little bit later, when I really know who I am, regardless of my title and my role, so even if I've been promoted, sometimes though also we've been demoted or we lost our job or something else has happened to us. In your case, Michelle, it was a positive, right? You got promoted. But when we're attached to our title is not actually who we are. Our macro confidence is our superpowers, the things that make us incredible no matter what title we have. That's really who we are.
I just want to tag on to that too.
Great, Christine.
As a team, we're reading the book Extreme Ownership, written by the Navy SEALs. And I just love the concept of that book. And it applies to what we're talking about. So this idea of own it. There are no bad teams, only bad leaders is sort of this idea of the book, that when you lead, go ahead and lead. So own your position and change the focus from the dynamics that you're feeling with other people, to change your focus to the mission that you're trying to accomplish at the job and the why, and inspire your crew with that.
And to add to that you don't have to be the leader to do that too. At any position, it's just like owning your position and leading your peers, leading. So just like lead, own it and lead.